Hello everyone, welcome to your reading for the week ahead. If you are new here, my name is Shireen, and what we do is once a week I do a reading with a Monday to Friday outlook on what your week looks like day by day, and if there's any knowledge or something we can learn or any advice that Spirit can impart for us. This is a legit tarot deck, by the way. It's the Golden Art Nouveau. It's very tiny. It's a beautiful deck. If you are a regular with me and you get readings from me often, you will see that I often use this deck because I like it, especially when I'm doing something that is quite extensive. It gives me more space to work when the cards are a bit smaller. Alright, so we'll see if I end up using these for clarification. We're going to be looking at Monday through to Friday for this coming week to see what it brings us. This is the week where we're just coming out of that Virgo new moon eclipse energy. So let's see what things look like. Very interesting, and I'm sure some of you are feeling it. Okay, I have pre-shuffled all of these, but sometimes I just feel like it needs another one or three. Okay, can I please see what Monday looks like for this week ahead? What's the general energy of Monday, please? Two cards. Seven of Cups. And the Knight of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. These are gilded, also kind of Art Nouveau type cards, ethereal visions. Let's see. I feel like I want to kind of get the bigger picture here before I say anything. Let's see. Can I please see Tuesday's energy? What's the general energy for Tuesday, please? Whoops, two cards again. Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. Okay, let me show you quick. Could I please see Wednesday's energy? What's the general energy for Wednesday? Six of Pentacles. Thursday, please. Two cards again. Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Okay, things are definitely looking up towards the end of the week by the general energy here. And then for Friday, please. What is the general energy for Friday this week? The Tower and the King of Cups. Wow, alright, we are in for some potentially intense energies here this week. There's a lot of emotional stuff going on, which I would imagine is the order of the day. We have the Temperance card from the bottom of the deck, which is the overall energy for the whole week. And this is a card of healing. Okay, the Temperance card brings up things, especially from the past. They can be very emotional, and they are things that we thought would be sorted out. We thought we've kind of dealt with it. They can, however, come in many different capacities in our lives. They can be physical 3D things, but they affect us in an emotional way. It's usually something from the past that we want to leave in the past, and we think we can just leave it then. We think it's done and dusted, but it's actually not. And it comes up for healing because Spirit is saying to us, are you going to enter into this situation again or find yourself in a cycle again? Or are you going to do something different? Okay, so it's usually perceived negative things that come up, a bill you haven't paid, an old argument you had with somebody, and you thought, oh, well, I'm just going to let bygones be bygones, but maybe they haven't. Maybe an old lover crops up. No, that's always fun. But here she's trying to find this balance. And towards the end of the week, on Thursday, I think it was, no, Wednesday, we see the Six of Pentacles, which is about bringing balance into our lives in the physical 3D. So there are things that we're going to contemplate. There are difficulties that we are going to have to face and potentially overcome for this week. But yes, there's a lot of happiness and positive potential after this. Absolutely. So what I would like to say to you at this point is whatever comes up, allow it, let people do what they need to do. You know, there's a poem that even says, let them. Don't freak out about what other people are doing, let them. And concern yourself with yourself and be very much focused on what you are wanting to take into your future, because this is what this energy is about. You know, these eclipses can go on for the next 6 months, the influencing energy. And this is about what do we want to keep, what don't we want to keep. And we're dealing with a lot of things. We're dealing with a lot of things from an emotional perspective when we see the Seven of Cups like this. Masks coming off. This is an interesting depiction of the Seven of Cups. It can sometimes represent confusion. And again, I feel like there's a lot of different elements that are coming up. Maybe there's a lot of things that have like a emotional influence over you. But you need to decide to see the truth, to move forward. There are going to be positives coming up and there are going to be negatives coming up. But we need to deal with the negatives. We need to be willing to be done with certain things that we know are not good for us, that we know we need to get rid of in our lives. And then we will have this change. This Knight of Cups comes in. That can be a beautiful offer of something. The Seven of Cups can even sometimes say that we do have a lot of offers or potential opportunities, and we don't know which one to choose because there are so many. And I always say that's a good problem to have, okay? But you need to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. That's what I'm hearing here. It's like you need to decipher which is a good one, which is a bad one, and you need to look beneath maybe some people's attitudes or what's really being offered in a situation. Allow yourself that and do this through your intuition. What feels right is right. What feels wrong is wrong. Don't overthink it. Don't try and let somebody else talk you into it. Go with your gut instinct. All right, I'm going to pull a card from the Earth Magic Oracle for Monday. What energy goes with Monday, please? Oh, wow. Okay. This is very much Seven of Cups energy as well. You'll actually see in the background, if you can see, there's a castle, and some of these cups, they're all in clouds. They are shrouded in mystery, all right? It's very clouded, it's confusing. And here we have the veiled. Look at all of those clouds in the mountains, but the sun is coming out. And the minute the sun comes out, that fog dissipates. And there is clarity and new things come in. So perhaps Monday is going to be a bit of a confusing, conflicting kind of energy initially, but then there's this clarity that comes in. Maybe you are not sure what to do, and all of a sudden you get a phone call or an offer of some sort, or there's some kind of shift, because when a knight comes in, a long-term condition changes, and he's looking towards the future. They're always looking at something they can move towards, okay? I like to see that veiled card. That's actually lovely. All right, for Tuesday, we have the Five of Cups, which is a struggle to see the positives and the opportunities we have. This person's always focused on what has gone wrong, the empty cups, the things that have, those would have, could have, should have kind of energies, where he actually has two cups behind him and he doesn't see them. All right, this is very much being preoccupied with the past and what has happened and believing that nothing else is coming for you. But this can show that in a very short period of time, and even though you don't see it, there's a new opportunity that's coming up here. Partnership is a potential here, all right? So whether that's for business or whatever the case is. And then your Five of Swords energy is sometimes when we are having an argument or some kind of conflict with somebody, and it can represent an empty victory. You see, this guy seems to have won the battle here, but he doesn't feel like he's really won. So it could be a situation where you're having some regrets over a situation where you had a fight with somebody and now you think, oh, all is lost. Maybe you are separating in a relationship, a friendship or something like this, and you're really regretting it. You're regretting your actions. But there's either an opportunity here for reconciliation and to sort it out, or there's an opportunity for something completely different to come in. So don't allow yourself to be too pessimistic. Don't beat yourself up too much either, because I don't think that this is something that's going to last. What card goes with Tuesday, please? What advice or energy do you have coming up for Tuesday? Love, compassion. Okay. So that's what's going to solve the problem, all right? You need to have compassion for yourself as well as for others. Maybe this is a little bit of a warning not to overdo it and not maybe say or do something that you're going to regret. You know, we don't always have to have the last word. We don't always have to go the extra mile and then maybe leave ourselves in this kind of feeling where we're thinking, oh, that was a bit much. You know, I didn't have to take it to the next level in quite so harshly, because maybe that is what is going to put me in the situation where I feel like this. Maybe this is a pattern you have to break as well. Maybe in the past you've done this where you just take things too far, or you say something you shouldn't say. You don't watch your words perhaps, or your actions. You may be too impulsive when it comes to being in a situation where you feel confronted or argumentative. Remember, we've got the Temperance card. Things are going to come up to test us. How are you going to handle them? And if you've handled them badly in the past and you end up in this situation or this situation, maybe it's now is the time to handle it differently. Maybe now is the time to handle it with a bit more compassion. And in the same way, don't beat yourself up about things you've done or handling it badly in the past. All you have to do now is make a decision to handle it differently. Okay, compassion for yourself and for others. Look how they are connecting as opposed to being so separate and miserable because we've ostracized somebody or segregated ourselves. Then we have the Six of Pentacles for Wednesday. This is lovely because this is about balance coming in. This can be somebody wanting to help you or give something to you, or this can be us getting ourselves back to where we feel we need to be. So for instance, I often use the example of if you, for instance, lost your job at some point and you had to go back into a job that was really making you feel like you really just had to start from scratch when you have all this experience and knowledge and these accolades, and all of a sudden you are finding yourself in a position where you can get back to that. You offered something wonderful, or you've worked hard to get back to where you were, and this is us renewing our status. It's about wanting something to be given back to us, whether that is you going through something legal even, if it gets to that point. But this is about us, whatever we feel is rightfully or legally ours, or what is fair in something that has been a fair or an unjust or an unbalanced situation, this can then be rectified. So Wednesday looks like a good day. This is where things are with the Temperance card are kind of coming back into balance, because that's all she's trying to do. She's trying to mix two things. She's trying to alchemize a situation. Okay, and what goes with Wednesday's cards, please? What goes with the Six of Pentacles for Wednesday? Thank you. Shape-shifting. All right, this is transformational, literally. I even feel Tuesday's energy is that potentially, because we have the ability to make a different choice, to not leave ourselves in the lurch or do something that maybe we would regret because we lack that compassion, because we don't take the right action. And here the Six of Pentacles is shape-shifting. You can change. You don't have to be who you've always been. You can do something differently. Maybe you were sent on this path for a very good reason. Maybe now is the time for you to get back into that balance and establish yourself, but maybe in a different way than what you did before, because maybe there is a better way to do it, or there is more that you can tap into and take advantage of than maybe there was before. But be willing to change, be willing to do things differently, to act differently, to be different if where you were has not made you happy. Don't be afraid to do those things. This being your card for the week shows that you can alchemize things. You can change the things that you're dealing with here. It's all about choices. Okay, and it can feel ridiculous because there's so many of these things coming up, but see it as an opportunity. This is a time to change and heal situations. They are coming up for healing. Do you choose to heal them or do you choose to ignore them? Because if you heal them, you're going to have major transformation in your life. Okay, then Thursday's the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. This is more about stability, making sure that we are taking care of, ourselves, our assets, the people and things that we care about. And it's about bringing a little bit more stability when it comes to finances, when it comes to material aspects. And then we've got the Six of Swords. So this is moving into a time that is a bit smoother, where we're coming out of difficulties that we've faced in the past. So I see you probably making the right choices here, even if that's only with certain circumstances. Again, have compassion for yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you fix 6 things or 3 out of 6 things this week, you're still fixing something, you're still growing, you're still building. All right. And the Six of Swords shows the ability to overcome difficulties, to triumph through adversity, to move to calmer waters. He's making a move. He's moving on. This could even be something to do with travel. But this is about moving on. And yes, not all your troubles are gone, but we're certainly moving to a happier atmosphere in some way in our lives. So Thursday is really, really good. And it's very much about make those decisions and take those actions that are going to bring you more stability. If it's moving away from something as well, even if you don't necessarily want to, but you know it's best for you, take that action. What goes with the energy for Thursday, please? Thank you. Celebration. Okay. Dance, celebrate. This is definitely something that you're coming out of. There is more stability. It's not that up in the air kind of feeling here. And again, I feel like there's certain things we need to move on from. They could be difficult. It could be difficult to do that. There could even be emotional components here as well. But this is about you being focused with your stability, the things that you want to move towards, and it's showing that there's something to celebrate. So maybe you really have overcome certain things. Maybe you've had a change in your consciousness that's brought this shape-shifting energy, and you've made different choices, and you're already seeing the results. Or you walk away from something, or you say no to something, or you say yes to something else, and all of a sudden you feel like, wow, I've actually made a different choice to what I've always made. This really has the potential to change the energy, to change my trajectory in my life. So wonderful. Thursday is something to celebrate for sure. Great energy. And then Friday we've got the Tower and the King of Cups. The King of Cups again talks about balance coming in, all right? And the Tower is something that's sudden or unexpected, that happens quite quickly, that comes into our lives and shakes things up. That's not something we can control. It's usually not something we can anticipate. Okay, so something might shake you up or all of a sudden happen that you don't expect. It could be that there is somebody that you can't tolerate at work, or whatever the case is, and all of a sudden they're leaving. And you feel this relief, or whatever the case is. But this Tower, coupled with the King of Cups, is really great. The King of Cups is about someone who's emotionally mature, emotionally balanced. When your emotions have been upside down, this is something that brings you more into balance. It's a very loving, compassionate kind of energy as well. So it's really the right kind of energy you want to be surrounded with. And this Tower moment guarantees always that whatever's meaningful or right for you in your life will always be preserved for you. So you don't need to worry about it. Let these towers fall. Let these moments happen where certain things fall away, or things and people move out of your life, because this is going to put you into a much happier atmosphere. Your week ends with King of Cups. All right. And the Tower is not always a bad thing. It's sometimes, here's that mask again. Somebody with a mask. Maybe there's one of you that is going to get rid of somebody who's pretentious or deceptive. Maybe your own masks have to come off in certain ways. Maybe it's the way that you think that you are is not really the way that you want to be. Maybe the shape shifting is very significant for you, and you do need to stop pretending. Maybe you are tolerating things and people because you feel like you need to, and that's just got to end, because it's not you're not tapping into your authentic self, your authenticity, if that's what you're doing. And then this is what brings you more into balance. This could even also talk about working from home. It's very much related to moon energy as well. It's like Cancerian energy as well. So very romantic, loving energy and very balanced. He's looking to the future. He is, this tower moment's going to be good. So accept it in whatever way it comes. Okay, that's the best advice I can give you. What goes with Friday? I don't know if I'm going to take that one. I am. It's solitude. Maybe you do need some quiet time after this tower moment. Maybe the tower moment is going to kind of force you into a bit of solitude, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Anything else for with Friday, please? Or was that just that one? There we go. Earth magic. Okay. When I see the earth magic in this kind of context for these kind of readings, I feel as if this is very much, yes, maybe you're connected to elementals and this is something that has a very personal meaning for you. Maybe you want to go out and, do an offering outside where you live to say thank you for everything that's happened. I feel like you need to go outside to balance yourself. I feel like this is often a reminder to ground ourselves and remember that we're part of a bigger picture and just get ourselves balanced again. Don't let yourself get caught up in maybe this tower moment or this tower energy. Make sure that you're connecting to other things. Remember spirituality. Remember fantasy and positive energies and the fact that you can go outside and ground yourself and remind yourself that you're connected to all things. It's not just about what's happening in this moment. Okay, so some quiet time on Friday is great going into the weekend. And then your bottom of the deck here that goes with the Temperance card is perspective. And that's exactly what I've been saying now. Remember that you're part of all of these stars. You're part of the galaxy. There's a much bigger picture. There are millions of tiny little atoms, and you're made up of those atoms, and you're connected to them. And there's more to this life than just what's in your physical life. Connect again to yourself, to your authenticity. We all say self-care is important, but remember to connect to yourself, your real true self, your soul. That part of you where you know what is right and you know what is wrong, and you can be led by your intuition. We've forgotten all about that because we are so stuck in the ruts. We're so much looking for external validation when the validation that comes from within is your best guide. Trust your gut instincts. Like I said in the beginning, if it feels right, it's right. If it feels wrong, it's wrong. That's it. There's no fluff when it comes to spirituality. Spirit doesn't give mixed signals. It's us that tries to logic and reason it, and all the man-made things we're taught to do to dissect something and until we're in that analysis paralysis. Don't do that to yourself. Get perspective, zoom out, look at the bigger picture of where you fit in the scheme of things and what doesn't serve you, what needs to be let go. It's not the end of the world, it's your path, it's what meant to be. This too shall pass. Make sure that you are taking conscious actions towards what is going to be best for you, because this energy lends itself to transformation, to that shape-shifting, to revelations and revealing things. Okay. I wish you a wonderful week, and I send you lots of love, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.